Welcome back to our newest series, the weekly speedrun showcase. This week we've got Hollow Knight True Ending 1221 Major Glitches coming at you from SGDQ 2024. It's 1 a.m. in one of the hotel dining rooms, so I don't wake up my roommates or keep them up. Um, Having a pretty good week so far. It's been a lot of fun. This is the night before the True Ending race. That'll be at I think 6:20 Central Daylight Time. The day this is posted, Wednesday the 3rd of July. So if you're watching this day of, make sure to tune in for the GDQ run. And if not, you can always catch it on the VOD. So it's gonna be good. It's, Stratus, the world record holder, versus Visuals, several-time world record holder, commentated by yours truly, as well as Wonky, who has also had the world record in this category. One of these things is not like the other. Um, Only kind of a joke. So, anyways, recap from last video. 221 is the general speed patch of this game. Just a lot of glitches that didn't affect it too much other than making things faster, that got patched out for later patches. So I'm actually a latest patch runner myself, primarily. The game just runs a bit better. It's kind of lower barrier to entry to run it. You just download the game and go. So I personally like latest patch, but these are my 1221 runs we're looking at now, and I've been kind of on a kick here, getting those going. So we'll get some good times, and we can go back to latest patch. I do have a bunch of videos that don't need recording, or don't need to be run. They're ready for latest patch videos, and those are going to be coming soon. I think 2 videos from now will be the first latest patch one. This aspid arena is pretty cool. There's like a double kill coming up by hitting the spike through both aspids. That's pretty tough on this patch. On latest patch, it's a lot easier. I'm not exactly sure why, but on 1221, it's pretty hard, and it saves a not insignificant amount of time. So definitely recommend learning it. You can use what I did just there as an example. Just try to do everything exactly as I did. The only piece of advice I'd say you need really is you have to react to them spawning. You can't guess when they're going to spawn unless you have a lot of hours. Like myself, and runners today. So definitely just react as quickly as you can. Read everything. You'll be fine. So the biggest difference, at least in the early game here compared to any percent, or sorry, at least in DS compared to any percent, is that instead of escaping False Knight through the intended shortcut, we're actually going to be fighting it, finishing the fight, and that's because we want to fight the upgraded version later. Now the difference in general, 20% for TE, 20% when he needs to fight the HK, he needs to fight the Radiance. So in order to fight Radiance, you need Void Heart. And to get Void Heart, you have to get each half of King Soul. So one of the halves of King Soul is gated behind White Palace, which is gated behind 1800 Essence. Okay, we've made it to the root of this tree now. And how we're going to get 1800 Essence is by defeating a bunch of Dream Bosses and Dream Warriors. So the upgraded version of False Knight is Failed Champion, that's a Dream Boss, and that's, I believe, 350 Essence. So a good chunk of that 1800. But we'll see plenty of fights in this category that you wouldn't see in a That's kind of the main appeal, I'd say, in this category, is a lot of not very high equipment fights that are tough fights. So really hard combat in this category, which can make it really hard to finish runs without dying. If you're just starting out with this category, I'd say don't reset when you die, right? You're gonna die in runs a lot. There have been recent world records with deaths in them. So really don't sweat about it. Just keep it going. And you will do better by continuing the runs and getting practice and all the later stuff. So, we've just picked up Vengeful Spirit. As a recap, that is our Fireball ability. It does 15 damage as opposed to 5 for the base now, and you need 3 nail hits to get enough soul to cast it. So when you start out here, you'll want to break this first plank, because you're going to fall through there later, and it's faster to just break it there where it loses no time. Again, this is the Vengeful Spirit tutorial area, so we will be needing all the soul that we have, but we start with full soul, so you don't really have to worry about soul collection so much. Got nice Vengefly Pogo there. And just in general, you can use nice basing for everything. Do a pretty good job in here. I got a first spit on that boulder, which is excellent. And now you see me pick up Soul Catcher. I touched on this in my any percent video, but it's not strictly optimal to pick up Soul Catcher in this category or any percent, especially on this patch, but it just gets runs going for me. I like it. It's not a huge difference really in the gameplay, but it's just kind of like a safety net in a way. It loses like 4 seconds, so totally up to you. I'd say the biggest downside is that it kind of messes up your splits compared to ComSob. Care about that kind of thing. I kind of do, but regardless, in this room, as you'll remember, we want to get at least 2 casts of soul by the time we get out of it. I think we get 9 here, or sorry, 9 hits for 3 casts of soul, which is excellent because I believe I missed this quick kill. Yeah. So luckily I still have soul for the fireball skip, but normally I just like to have 2 casts for this fireball skip, so I don't have to worry about having it, be kind of tight on one fireball. So now that we're in green path, first of all, this is just silly right here. You're not supposed to fall there, and I got so lucky that there was a platform down there. That kind of thing happens sometimes, but almost every time you make a silly mistake like that, you get punished. So it's kind of crazy that I just was able to continue on. That was just silly. So I was a little low on soul because of that, so I actually, if you look at the in that room, went a little bit out of my way to make sure I got some more hits on these birds here. Because that's a 2 fireball skip I just did there, and then there's another one coming up that I like to have 2 fireballs for as well. You can do both of those in one, but I really wouldn't recommend doing that middle fireball skip in one. If you get the jump, usually you can do it in one. And I didn't have enough soul for 2, so I had to get it in one. Unfortunately, missed it. So quick little collection there on the totem and on the moss baby, and we're doing fine. We're gonna try to get back to full soul in this room, or at least 1 hit shy of full soul. We can do the Moss Knight quick kill here. Ideally, we get a double on the Moss Knight. We only use 2 fireballs, but things happen, and it's much better to be prepared like that. We are going to kill Vengefly King on our way, so remember you have to get 7 hits of soul without Soul Catcher before you start the quick kill. So get 3 off those, 1 off each of these, and then you can get 2 off of this next Vengefly. That's the general even without Soul Catcher. I have Soul Catcher, and I just needed to kill that last Vengefly or he's going to hit me if I upslashed it, so what I did. In this category, we kill Vengefly King instead of these Moss Knights, just because it's faster, and we don't need the Geo so much. We just need what we get from Vengefly King at 65. Alright, coming up again is the Hornet fight. You'll see this in every category but low percent. Same board, at least. So as we go through this fight, you'll see every 5 hits, she's going to stagger. And you can really use that to your advantage to keep control of the fight, right? Like she doesn't really get to participate all that much. And you also want to keep her in the corners. There's a good deal of knockback when you swing your nail at her. And if she's in the corner, she can't get knocked back away from you. So that's basically all the general strats. Sometimes you can get some doubles, but that's a little advanced. So As long as you can get out of that fight consistently, not die, chilling. Picked up our dash ability. And then the save quit. That was our first save quit of the run. There are 3 methods of fast travel in this game. That was the first that we're going to use in this run. We will use all 3. There's a hard save at that bench and mound. So even though we did bench there, even if we didn't, we would still get our save put there. And at any point you can pause, save, and quit the game, and it'll bring you back to the last bench or hard save that you were at. And we'll use that quite a bit to kind of teleport around. Here's our second method of fast travel. Is snags. This is the conventional, just unlock stations around the map and then you can fast travel between those. Pretty basic. And meanwhile, we did go back through the False Knight room and grab that Geo chest for 200. So, coming up here, we got Gruzmother. This fight, you need to come in here with at least 6 hits of soul, so you can do 3 nail cancels and then 6 nail hits. This was not a great fight. She kind of ran away. I pride myself as a low percent runner on being able to deal with the bad RNG in this fight when a lot of people can't, but unfortunately this time just didn't get on top of it. Get the progress going, so an early fireball for the cleanup too, and then a miss. Oh, that's ugly. But it happens. So we're gonna grab Shaman Stone here, and if you notice, I lost like 12 seconds or something in the split that I picked up Soul Catcher, and that's because there's a first charm animation. So we saved like 8 seconds of that time back in this split. And we're just gonna die right away here. We've already benched, bought Shaman Stone. Now we're gonna die, and that's because I'm gonna collect some soul for the Shade Skip. So instead of dying on the way to Slion back, I get soul on the way to Slion back. And this is the conventional thing. We've been doing this for years. Now there's a 1 fireball and even a 0 fireball Shade Skip. And for the 0 fireball one, you don't need to collect soul, obviously. So you actually die just like any percent does. I messed that up a little bit, but I kind of saved it, which is nice. I've been getting a lot better at this skip recently. I'm very happy with that. That skip also in general, just one of the hardest skips on the main boards in Hollow Knight. The only other one I can really think of, the Queen Station skip in low percent. That's a 3 fireball skip to skip getting dash, obviously, and get into fungal so you can get Mantis Claw. And that one's like super tight, but it's not nearly as complicated as True Ending Shade Skip. So speaking of which, you might be wondering, why is True Ending have its own Shade Skip? That's because we want to get Dream now, right now. I mentioned that 1800 essence that we need to gather by the end of the run, and the way it routes out, we need the 100 essence from Elder Who to get to that number without getting a bunch of dream trees or like weird random dream bosses. So we actually have found that it's fastest to do True Ending Shade Skip and get Dream Now without ever having picked up Claw, and then go get Claw while getting Elder Who on the way. Some other categories, 100% and stuff like that, have other reasons to come back through the wastes later to get Elder Who, so they'll just get Claw right away like you normally would. Just come back later, but we don't come back. We don't have time for that. So, like, pretty minor routing quirk in my opinion. That just makes the whole early game novel. I mean, it's so cool that we get to come do this category. Down here we got Seer Skip, so I'm going to pause and unpause to get early control as my knight is waking up. And I'm actually going to leave this room with the Seer in it before you even see anything. Like, the screen's just white. I'm in the next room now. I'm still waking up as you. Pretty cool skip. This saves a bunch of time, so it's not too hard for some. So you'll see that in any category that gets Dream Mail, I guess. So we ring the bell there, bench, and now we stag to Forgotten Crossroads. Because now we're gonna go. We got Dream Mail, we can go get Elder Who. So speaking of Dream Mail, I introduced it quite a bit in the last video, but just to recap, main plot device in this game really centers around it. You use it to kill 3 dreamers that you need for any percent. You also use it for anything essence related whatsoever. So that's how we're gonna get our 1800 essence. And at the end of the run, that's also how we're gonna get to Radiance from. Uh, on our way to Elder Who here, there's a somewhat recent reroute in this run where we actually equip the Dream Wielder charm that we're going to get from the Seer later, and that's a 1-notch charm. Common Stone's 3 notches, and we have 3 notches, so if we want to use both, we got to get an extra charm notch, and that's what we're doing right here. It also gets us 92 geo, I think, so pretty nice. This takes something like, and we get it back and more. This route's excellent. I am a big fan of this addition to the category because not only is it faster, but actually it makes a lot of fights a lot easier and just general soul collection. This is so silly here. You want to go into Elder Who with full soul, or at least 1 hit short. I doubled back for this Spore hit, and then the Spore just parked in front of the transition. It was so dumb. But here we got Elder Who. This is a huge RNG check. Like early, but like not early enough for how RNG it is, right? So, you can have a really good run up to this point, and it's just like, oh no, like Elder Who did his pancakes attack 10 times. Too bad, you know? So collect this essence, and then if you collect it with the Dream Nail, you can actually buffer a second Dream Nail to early control out of the essence collection cutscene. And that's what I did there, and that's what I'll be doing anytime I Dream Nail, or anytime I collect any essence, if I can. So it's just on the Soul Warriors. It doesn't work on the Soul Bosses. Dream Warriors, Dream Bosses. Sorry. So now we're on our way to Claw. Short little movement split here. Pretty much it's the same as any percent, except for one small detail. Here's Epogo. You nailed it as usual. No, I used to struggle a bit with this version of Epogo, but I've gotten my act together. So the only difference here is that Mantis dies just with the fireball. So it's funny, you actually do like a fake up slash to kind of keep your timing the same as any percent for the Mantis Pogo that comes directly after. And as always, we got our nice little early control here. That was a fast one. That was like as soon as I picked it up. So pretty clean. Looking good. We are in the Open Spirit Glade split now. And our first task is to ring this Stag Bell. In general, throughout the run, we want to skip the animation of the any toll, but here the Stag toll. Skip the animation of that opening, and we also want to skip the animation of the Stag arriving at the station. So we're going to see a lot of like weirdly timed bell rings and like wiggles, airballs, Stag stations. If you're wondering why, that's why. Here's your second Dream Warrior 0. Elder Who was 100 essence. 0 is also 100 essence. This fight is just scripted. I don't always follow the script because I'm not good at it. Uh, Pretty nice after Elder Who to get a boss where it's like, okay, I'm in control here, you know. And so I was. I like to end this with at least a cast of soul because I'm gonna get some geo from some enemies. Here's the first big walking storage of the run. It's such a fun walking storage. If you're wondering what that is, I talked about it in my first video, so definitely go check that out. That any percent guide from last week. Another fun little walking storage here that I miss. So sad. I guess so unsatisfying. That's like my second favorite walking storage. Anyways, if you enter this room with less than 286 geo, you want to kill that top row of husks. And then always you want to kill this bottom row of husks. And this gets you enough geo. We're going to use 300 of it to buy King Station here. Do not bench here. No bench. You're going to buy this bag, and then you're going to go up here and grab the relic. Again, relics are just items you can sell to an NPC, Lem, and we will be doing that somewhat soon here. But first, we're going to go grab another one, and then some more geo, and we'll do that. So, save quit, back to resting grounds. This is why we didn't bench in King Station, and we're going to go see the seer now for the first time, really, because we kind of skipped her earlier. One benefit of collecting all this essence is that at certain amounts of essence, she gives you rewards. So first reward at 100 essence is this Helena seal. Second reward at 200 essence is opening Spirit Blade. And why we care about that in this run? Well, there's a King's Idol in there. That's 800 geo. Heck yeah. So we're going to go grab that right now. We're going to do a trick called Revicless. So there used to be a pogo you could do. You could make Revic angry and then pogo Revic to get up here, like we're doing. But instead of pogoing Revic, we found you can do a trans dash there, which lets you get out a little further from the wall and get around some funky geometry. So we did that. Second try is okay. Like, doesn't really lose time going around too quick, but you want to see first try most of the time. It feels kind of bad to miss it. So, yep, grab our King's Idol and save back. Take quit back to the bench. Now we're going to go back to King Station. This time we will bench. And we're going to make our way through City of Tears and get some Geo, baby. First up, we got Gorgeous Husk. And when we get there, we're going to get 420 Geo from her and about 60-ish, 50, 60 Geo from the husks outside. And this quick kill is like pretty easy, but at the same time, like, it can just go a little wrong. Like, the physics are a little wonky, and you're stuck in this like weird spot. I actually thought I had to cast another fireball there because I thought one earlier didn't double, but it did. So yeah, that fight went well, but sometimes it can just not. It's like so tilty. I complain about this every time, but it's true. So got all that geo. At this point, I want 500 geo before I get to Lem and sell all my relics. So these guys in here have 18 geo. So as long as I have 482 plus entering this room, I'm happy. Because I'll kill these ones every time. Unless I like actually have 500 geo already. Cruising through this room here. I always slash this lever because in other categories like any percent you need to slash it on your way through. And even though you don't in this category, I just want to keep my muscle going. So make sure to get at least 2 hits of soul before doing Raptor skip here, because you need to cast a Fireball to do it. I do left side Raptors. I definitely recommend that if you're a new runner, or anything less than an advanced runner, because right side Raptors is really hard. But it's fun to learn and rewarding, so if you want to do it, do it. You know what I'm saying? Here's my boy Lem. We're going to sell relics, I believe, so we can get up to 2650 geo at least. We're going to spend all 2650 almost immediately. We've got 1800 for lantern, 50 for the toll into Crystal Peaks, which is also why we're getting lantern, because you can't interact with that toll in the dark, or else we just wouldn't get lantern at all. We'd save a bunch of time. And then the other 800 is going to be for Elegant Key when we get back to Dirtmouth after C-Dash. Don't mean to get ahead of myself. First, we're going to buy Lantern. And we're also going to bench in dirt. There's actually a new reroute for this section where you don't bench in dirt myth, but yeah, I don't know if that's going to catch on or not. I like it, but I haven't tried it myself in a run. So we got Lantern, and like I said, we're going to head over to Crystal Peak, so we're going to stag to Forgotten Crossroads and enter through the toll entrance. Okay, real quick, while we're doing this, I mentioned I'm at GDQ. Maybe I did. I'm at GDQ, SGDQ 2024. Recording this, it's 1:30 a.m. in the hotel, like dining room or something. So I don't wake my roommates up. We're having a great week. Uh, this has been really cool. It's my first GDQ, and if you're watching this on the day of posting, which is Wednesday, the 3rd of July, um, we're actually having a true ending race day. 6:20 p.m. I think Central Daylight Time. Uh, we're gonna have a T race between Stratus, the world record holder, and Visuals, another top runner in the category, anytime world record holder. It's gonna be commentated or couched by myself and Wonky, who has also had the T world record. And here's Pogax, by the way, cool little trick. Little RNG, but not too much. Pretty consistent on this patch. So that race is going to be hype. Make sure you tune in if you see this in time. If not, check out the VOD. I'm sure it's going to be a great time. So, and I'm so serious when I say the only reason I brought any of that up is I wanted to show off my shirt. It's sick. This is Zero from Mega Man, and I don't know if you can see it well, but I don't care. I want to show it off. It's ooh, that was really tight. I forgot about that. Yeah, 1 HP in this room is not good news at all. Like, I just gotta wait here at this point because I'm off cycle too. That's messed up. But I love Mega Man, so this shirt's pretty cool. Yeah, so I got 1 HP going through here now. If you watch the 80% video in the C-Dash room, which is coming up next, I did the damage cycle, and I alluded to a damage list cycle, which you're gonna have to see me do here because I've only got 1 HP. So do the Mouthly Fireball here, and then just one jump on this conveyor, and then we just ride them the rest of the way out. And that delays enough for these lasers to give us the cycle we need for damages. And that's about it. It's not too difficult, not a big adjustment, and there you go, man. Practice it enough, you will surely never mess it up in runs. Truly. You want to see that damage, the damage full cycle? Again, check out my 90% video. That's what I would do if I didn't have 1 HP. That's the one I prefer. So it's a little faster as well. So as you remember, I said we'd spend all 2650 geo that I said we need, and here's the last 800 of it. Elegant Key. This is going to let us go get our upgrade to our Fireball and upgrade it from Vengeful Spirit to Shade Soul. And in order to do that, we have to go to Soul Sink. Sub-area in City, also known as everyone who goes there's least favorite area. The good news is we don't actually go into Soul Sanctum proper. We just kind of skirt around the edges to go get Shade Sword. On the way there, pretty cool sea dashes, just in general, really. This one coming up is so satisfying because it's so long. Like, look at this. This room's pretty big. You just... You know when you... And we'll make our way up to Spire. Before we go to Sanctum, we're going to bench in Spire because we're actually going to head back there afterwards to fight Watchmore and get our first triple there. You'll notice here, little lever skip. Really do that anytime you're going up this way and on this patch. They got patched on later patches, but opens the lever through the floor there, and we'll never go to the bottom of the room and trigger the lights to turn on, so it's just full darkness. It's pretty fun. C dash is also one of my favorites. It just fits so well. You can actually have that go straight through to the next room too. It's really tough, but I've never done it. I didn't even know it was possible, but I've seen it. So tight to get above that Great House Sentry, but below the wall. I'd love to do that someday. And like I said, here we go entering Soul Sanctum. Just a little twister fight to start. 2 fireball hits will do it, or 3 now hits and fireball. Now on to really, like, for me, one of the hardest bosses in the run. Not like to survive, but to go fast. And also to survive, actually. This boss assumes you're going to have a lot of health. We do right now. So on top of just in general kind of being prepared for the fight, we want to make sure that we leave one of these volleys alive, because we're going to use it after the fight for another damage tank early control. So try to keep one alive. I had that one spawn behind me, so I knew I was okay to fireball. And it's tough. It's tough. You got to know like how much HP he has left. And I go by feel, which is a terrible idea. A lot of people know, like, exactly how much health they're at, and I recommend that. But whatever. We get out of there, and now we're gonna head over to Watcher Night. Well, Chandelier first. You'll remember from our 90% video, we're gonna go cut down Chandelier, and that's gonna make it so instead of fighting 6 Watcher Knights, let me know if you say Watcher Knight or Watcher Knights in chat. Also Crystal Peak or Crystal Peaks. Yeah, in any category other than like a full damage build for Watcher Knight, it's gonna be optimal to cut the Chandelier. It like almost breaks even when you have like Shriek, which is crazy, you know. And you have to play really well to make it faster with Shriek. So most categories will just do this, regardless of what equipment they have, depending on the Chandelier that is. And this fight itself is actually pretty similar to the 90% fight. We just have our fireball that does twice as much damage as the one we have in 90%. So it's just easier, faster. I mentioned that we are not getting any nail upgrades in this run, and the reason for that is that it's slow. But the second reason is that for every nail upgrade, all of the Dream Warriors' health scales with the nail. So if we upgrade our nail, they're all gonna have so much more health. And if we just use our spells, use our 40 damage Shade Soul, like they're just all gonna die pretty quickly anyways. And upgrading our nail would only help with, I mean, I guess some of the dream bosses, Radiance at the end. It's just not worth it. So you don't do that here. Here's one of our rewards for the Watcher Knight fight, of course, Lurian, first dreamer. As a reminder, we need to kill 3 of these dreamers to get any ending. So that's what we'll be doing here. That Watcher Knight fight was like pretty bad, by the way. I said it was faster and easier than the 90% version, but that fight was literally slower than the 90% comp sub, which is like, I don't want to say embarrassing because 90% comp sub is just ridiculous, but on our way down here, we're going to grab this Geo chest. We don't need the relic, and we actually don't need all of the Geo chest. We just need like 2/3 of it. I just get all of it because I don't really know exactly how much you need, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. But we're kind of set on Geo after this point in the run, so nice that way. Here we are, the base and bench split. It's basically just a big movement split, really. I leave some time for the fall in the dark room. I just don't love movement splits myself. They just feel so frustrating to me to time in. And I'm not the best at movement. I mean, like, I'm good, but like, fights and tricks are definitely stronger parts of my game. So when you have a split where you really shouldn't be losing more than like 2 seconds, it kind of sucks to lose more than 2 seconds. It's not a huge deal in the run at the end of the day, but it just feels a little silly. We're about to buy the basin bench, as alluded to, and a bunch of other tools in this game. You can wiggle or do like look downs to accelerate the toll. These benches, all three of them, actually you can't do that. And in all three cases, the space and bench, the queen bench, and the corner for city bench, just leaving the room and coming back is actually faster than the in-game timer. So that's what we'll do for all three of those. We don't get the corner bench in this round, but we do get the other two. So making our way through ancient basin here, you'll see us go past a bunch of these maulers, and all of these strats are consistent hitless except for that upside down one. Sorry, except for the second upside down one. I didn't realize there were two. I don't really pay attention. The second upside down one, which we did not get hit to, is RNG whether we get hit. The rest are consistent, so I just messed up twice. Happens. Not a huge deal. Um, as long as you don't die to broken vessel here. Speaking of whom, this is broken vessel. We're gonna fight the upgraded version of this boss, Lost Kin, afterwards. And what's funny is Lost Kin's pretty tough and hard to optimize as well, so you practice it a lot. This boss is not really that tough, so you don't really practice it so much. Kind of get used to the speed of Lost Kin. That's really the main difference, is that Lost Kin just goes faster and has more HP. So you do this fight, and it's like missing all the time, and like expecting things to happen. They just don't. But then you're like, oh, it's not happening. I'll go do something. But actually, it is happening. There's just such a big delay because it's so slow. It's frustrating. Um, but I got through it pretty decently. Now we're gonna fight Lost King. This is the most essence we'll get from one full stop in the game. This dream boss gives us 400 essence, which is unparalleled. A couple things give 350. I think it's failed champ and maybe GPZ also gives 350. But I could be wrong. Little silly on that like C dash there, but otherwise it's been pretty clean so far. Name of the game in this Lostkin fight is hitting fireball triples here. Lostkin staggers every 6 hits, so when it does stagger in the corner like that, which is what we want, we'll hit it 3 times and then hope for a fireball triple to hit it for the next stagger. Just like that. That's what we want every time, the fastest, but if we're not getting that, it's not a huge deal, as long as we play well and just keep doing damage, keep getting doubles at least, and we'll be fine. And that's kind of how that fight went, really. Um, we got some triples, but not a lot. Just kind of held it together other than that, and this is actually a pretty good split. 301's excellent. I've gotten a sub 3, I think, twice, so we take those. And don't forget, after you kill Lostkin, to come get on our coins. You will quickly remember in a second after you quit back to the base and bench and then try to go to the hidden station, stag station. Because you need wings to get up there, or a slope ball, or a shade fireball skip. And if you're watching this video, you probably don't know how to do any of those things. And you might not even know that slope ball isn't even possible on this patch. And you might not know it doesn't matter because it's not possible on any patch with Shade Soul because it just goes through the walls. So just don't forget wings. Moral of the story. That is a fun Shade skip though. Anyways. Yeah, just kind of another movement split here, really. This is failed champion dream entry, so what we're going to do here is we're going to stag to resting grounds, bench, use our newfound 400 essence, because it's a 600 essence, to get the seer rewards up to 500 essence, which is Dream Wielder, our bestie charm. One notch, it like halves the time that it takes to swing your dream nail or something like that. And it doubles the soul you get from dream nailing enemies from one cast to two casts. So this is just kind of busted. Um, really, really good ability. Or sorry, charm. Really good charm. And we'll just equip it immediately as soon as we got it from the seer. We save quit back to that bench. You can open the charm menu before you can get up off the bench. So we'll do that as soon as we can. Stag back to Forgotten Crossroads. And now we're going to make our way to Failchamp. So you actually want to get um, at least 2 casts of soul before you get to Failed Champ or the False Knight Ring. I just get 1 here because I don't do the Shade Soul to break the breakable wall here, but I recommend just learning that. I just haven't learned the lineup for it, so I just don't bother, but just learn this breakable wall. Just lose some time here. And then you'll have 1 cast left. Get that cast, or you get the remaining 2 casts off of the maggot in the same dream now swing as the one you used to enter this dream. Pretty cool. Here's Failed Champ. Name of the game is live through phase 1 and use Dream Wielder whenever he jumps over you, just like that, to get 2 more casts. You can do that multiple times in the phase, not a big deal. But then between phases here, I did that well. We're going to do these triples. Get them ace, main body, and then ace again for those triples. Pretty cool. I didn't really hit many triples, but I did well enough anyways. So I like to do like an extra Shade Soul before the triples as well. I did it the first cycle, but not the second cycle, so you can kind of see the difference there if you want to. Third cycle, no need. We're done. Finish the fight. And we do jump out of the dream there. It's safe as long as you see your Shade Soul connect and kill the boss. And we'll collect our essence here. And we're going to watch closely 900. So that's exactly 300, not 350. I keep saying 350 where I'm getting. But anyways, 900 essence is another important number. So we're going to go right back to Seer. And the 900 essence reward is Dream. It'll be our 3rd method of fast travel out of 3. Dreamgate lets you just place a Dreamgate anywhere you want, and then teleport to that Dreamgate from almost anywhere you want. It's pretty incredible. It does cost you 1 essence to use, which is just truly negligible. We'll grab a Dream Tree later in the run to make up that essence loss as we Dreamgate around a bunch. Really not a huge deal. Just thought I'd mention it. And as soon as we have Dreamgate, now we are going to use it a lot. We are going to stag to King's Station. Once we're there, we're going to set a Dreamgate that we're going to Dreamgate back to, I think, 3 times. So I mentioned earlier in the game, when you save quit, it brings you back to your last bench or hard save. We're going to run into a few hard saves here. In just areas that are so far from literally anything, like just a terrible spot to have your hard save. So we can't save and quit back from those spots, so we're going to use our newly acquired Dream Gate. The first thing we're going to do is go ahead and fight Hornet 2 so we can get King's Brand. A little acid skip here. You can do that with C-Dash Dash Wings. You can do it with just C-Dash and Claw if you need to. Pretty stuff. And then if you're starting out with this run, you can go up left right here and break the breakable ceiling to take Camp Bench. I'd honestly recommend it because it's pretty easy to die to Hornet 2 coming up here. It's a pretty tough fight, especially with the equipment that we have. So, aim of the game is going to be jump a little bit before your Shade Souls so you can try to get doubles, and just make sure you're Dream Nailing every time she staggers. With Dream Wielder, that's 2 casts. That's going to be just plenty of damage. So I got a double there. Anytime you can do 2, you can do a fireball while she's up in the air like that, you're pretty likely to get a double. Just every stagger, hit that Dream Nail. You can get, with Dream Wielder, you can get a heal and a Dream Nail in. You can even really get 2 Dream Nails in if you want to, but I don't really know why you would need to. So just learn different tactics. That last Dream Nail was kind of just like a safety strat. Like I need both casts, and it could have been safer just to collect the soul with my nail. But I can be wrong. I'm human. I'm not actually counting the damage, so just better to do the Dream Nail if I want to just lock in my time save. As you can see now, I'm pretty green, so going well this far into the run. No chance about the halfway point in the run, by the way, if you're curious. So you're timing it out pretty spot on halfway. That was another Dream Nail early control. I know we were doing it earlier with the Dream Warriors, but you can also do that without the need to buffer it. You just hit Dream Nail and it early controls on this patch. Anytime you're just waking up out of a dream or something like that. So we'll use that a few times. We used it just then. We'll use it when we load in after Shade Cloak, and we'll use it after Monomon. Speaking of Shade Cloak, that's our next destination. As you saw, we used our Dream Gate to get back to King's Station, and then we stagged to King's Station. So for this drop, see that spirally thing in the background? Go to the middle of it, and then you can do the inventory drop. I stopped a little too far to the left, as you can obviously see by the fact that I hit that platform. So, just some movement through here, you're not at it. Please climb here, the siblings. They do double damage, so you want to be careful. But not a huge challenge really if you have wings. If you don't have wings, that's a really tough climb. But luckily in this category we do. So. Coming up here, as soon as we hit the water, bang, we're gonna save and quit out. If it splits, you quit in general for item pickups. So it split, we quit. Dream Nail early control, and we're just gonna Dream Gate right back to King Station. If you're ever wondering how I'm doing anything, I'll always have my input display at the bottom of the screen. So please, use that to help you learn if you want. We Dream Gate back to King Station here, and then we ring the bell as we're walking out so that we can skip that stag animation again. And we're on our way to Markoth. So we picked up Shade Cloak. There are really only a few things gated behind Shade Cloak, behind Shade Gates in this game. One of those being Markoth. So this is a Dream Warrior. We're going to get 250 essence from it. We want to collect soul here. We need at least 7 hits of soul entering the fight. There's a C dash past all these guys, but I'm really bad at it. This C dash, on the other hand, is pretty free, so do that. And then watch this. That's how you get a couple hits on those guys. So here you want to get 2 nail hits and then 6 ticks of the Shade Soul, so 3 doubles normally. I entirely missed my first Shade Soul, so I'm going to try to get 3 more hits here, and then hopefully get another double. I don't get another double, so I'm going to end up going for a 5th cast there. Pretty rough, but happens. It's a tough boss. You'll notice when I'm doing the stream out early control and then dream out of the Dream Warriors, I'm not just doing like a, buffer straight into a Dream Gate out. I'm kind of double clutching the Dream Gate because I need to wait a little bit to actually collect the essence before I Dream Gate out. So um, that's only a concern if you have Dream Wielder on. So back to the station, tag the Dirt Myth, bench, and now we're gonna go get Gorb. Another one of these Dream Warriors where we just had to squeeze it in somewhere. This time it didn't change the whole structure of the early game. It's just, alright, time to go to Gorb, you know? And pretty much just movement really. Gorb's not much of a fight. You need 2 doubles, but it's like really easy to get those doubles. So you don't even need any nail hits on the boss. You just want to collect full soul before you get to the boss. However you want to do that. There are like methods to get it all with nail hits, but I actually saw Strat do Dream Nail on that crawlet I killed today, which with Dream Wielder, remember, gives you 2 casts, so I might do that in the future if I ever run this again. I only got 1 double, sadly, so I actually had to shoot a 4th fireball just after I said this fight was so easy. And I took a hit to that Vengefly, because if you don't, there's actually a little delay between when you collect the essence and put it out. But if you hit the Vengefly for some reason, or you get hit by it rather, you can go immediately. I don't understand it. I don't care to figure it out. It just works. So we're gonna head to Umu and to Monomon, same way as we would in any percent. Mender bug moment! Spotted! Runs blessed, no wonder I PB'd. Gonna do a little acid skip here. We saw this 90% as well. There's a different version you can do in True Ending since we have the Wings ability, where instead of walking to the left and C-dashing like we're about to do here, we can actually just straight up dash under here to the right and then Wings. Similar to the acid skip we did earlier, but without hitting the acid at the end of it. Here's Trinomi drop. It's pretty hard, and as you can see, I do mess it up a little bit here because the position of those enemies is a little RNG, but really cool strat through that room. It just makes me feel so good every time I hit it. I'd recommend learning it just because it's cool. Like, it's okay to learn things because they're cool. To the Dreamgate outside archives here, I actually accidentally entered instead of setting a Dreamgate. So what you want to do is press the Dreamgate button first and then the direction. So in this example, I'm placing a Dreamgate, so Dreamgate and then press down while holding Dreamgate. That's how you can avoid interacting with whatever's there and set a Dreamgate instead. Don't love that I just took all that damage. Yeah, I can get 1 heal off because I have Dream Wielder, but still. 3 HP. Could be better. You know, I really should just be getting the 1 cycle here and not taking any damage, or maybe like 1 tank for like going through and attack, but as always with Umu, follow my exact kiting, and that's how you're going to get your cycles right. I actually do everything right for the 1 cycle, except for my 3rd fireball being too early. So 2 casts there, 1 of them doubles, 4 nail hits, and then 2 more Shade Souls once Umu's hitting the wall. I shot my 3rd and 4th Shade Souls too early, so it was still kind of stuck on the wall, and that's why I didn't get enough damage to kill it, give me enough doubles and triples. So now I'm waiting for the second cycle. It's kind of sad. I also almost died because I only had 3 HP going in. That's how she goes. Not the worst. I'm gonna be losing some time, but happens sometimes. And a number of cycles isn't the only thing that you can do differently in Uno. Not you, but it's not the only thing that determines time save or time loss in Uno. Also RNG, of course. And we can just choose to do an extra attack sometimes, which is so cool. And which attack Umu does is also RNG. Short one and a long one. So for each attack, there's that RNG. It's just so fun. So late in the run, we love having all that variance. So late, so cool, so cool. We love it. As you saw, as soon as I could skip that cutscene out of the Dreamer, I did, and then I immediately save quit. Um, that's so that I can do this dream now early control and just drink it out immediately. Saves like not a lot of time, but it's pretty cool. But we do it, and now we're on our way to No Eyes. First, we're gonna set a dream gate on the left side of this ring. That's the way we're gonna go later, is through that left gap. And then we're just gonna come to No Eyes, gather some soul on the way, so we can cast enter. No Eyes is again has enough HP where we want 5 hits of the Shade Soul, so if we can get 2 doubles and then just a single, that'll work this time. Full soul. How this goes. But it's pretty RNG too. She can just teleport on any hit. So that doubled, teleports. The double, she teleports on the second hit of the double into the fireball again for a teleport triple. A 2 fireball No Eyes? I haven't even heard of that before this run. That was crazy. I don't even gold. Whatever. But like it was so cool. Like I just have soul. I'm supposed to have soul right now. It's so bizarre. So cool. I was freaking out when I did that. Like couldn't believe it. Here's another shade gate. We don't have to use this shade gate. We could do like UGA or something to get into Green Gardens instead, but it's just easier. We have shade glow up, so no reason not to. And up here is a Petra arena. We want at least 2 casts for this arena. That's how much it's going to take to kill these bunkers. But we will need more soul later, so if you can get more soul than 2 casts to enter the arena, the more the better. Here's this silly Thorn Warp. The hitbox is just ridiculous on that hazard respawn. I'll throw it up on the screen. Just like, it's so silly. But anyways, we're on our way to the QG bench now, which I alluded to earlier. You're really supposed to get full soul as you go through this room. I'm just a little bad at it. You get 2 casts of soul, it's nothing to sneeze at, but you can definitely watch some of the top runs to see the strats for collecting that soul if you're interested. But we're at the bench, and then we are going to head up to the arena, get to the rest of Queen's Gardens. This arena is pretty tough in general. The good news is that Shade Soul is excellent for the arena. And not only that, but we have Dream Builder, so if we need more Shade Souls, the swing of the Dream Nail away, 2 extra. So I don't do the exact right strat here, but this is, I'm getting through plenty fast, so going well. Don't mind at all. But I'm not sure why I got those nail hits. Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that, Petra. Don't mind me. It's 2 a.m. making our way to Marmu, but first we're gonna set a dream here at this little intersection because we're gonna go left to get to Marmu, but we're gonna go right to go to Trader Lord afterwards. And it's just one of my favorite dream gates in the game. Like you use it in a bunch of categories. It's just good. Just enjoy it so much. And I go from that happiness straight into frogs, which are just RNG nightmares. Bit of a cold shower. Don't have full soul going into Marmu. You really should just get the soul off those flying moss babies. I don't know why. I tried to get it off the frogs there, but whatever. There's a quick kill here that I'm really bad at. I tried here, and then it went off the rails. But as long as I don't get hit, I don't really care. But I got hit. That was like pretty slow, but I'm not at a point where like I'm expecting to go slow in that fight. So I am hitting that quick kill sometimes now. Anytime you want to dream gate somewhere, if you need to refresh your health, you're more than welcome to just bench first, like just save and quit out, and then dream gate afterwards. That refreshes your health entirely. I'm not too happy with this pace at this point. I've actually had runs since this run that were like seconds ahead of speed setting in this video at this point. So it's just not a great pace. So I'm not healing. I'm not saving quitting. I'm just kind of going hard for the rest of the run. Don't C dash there. It's not a C dash. It's never been a C dash. I don't know why I do it. So if you played this game recently, you'll be like, hey, Trader Lord's coming up. Shouldn't you heal like a lot? Thing is, this boss got buffed a lot after this patch. They added 2 new attacks that literally just hit these 2 attacks right now. They made it do double damage, and they added a bunch of it. Right now, it's just a bigger one of those like regular pieces, like a little more HP, but like not that much more. Kind of crazy for such a late game boss. I'm glad they patched it. It deserved it, and it needed. So, and as our reward, we get to go visit Tree Mommy, our real mom. Like this is actually our mom. And,
Elare.
and then we're gonna pick up these fragments, which is half of King Gold. So that half takes, Big Club and beating Trader Lord. The other half takes getting 1800 essence and beating White Palace. So, Beans Fragment, check. Next, we're gonna go fight Galeon, who is gonna be our last 200 essence, actually. So, we'll be pretty close to getting the other half. If you remember all that time ago, we got this bench. That's because we're gonna take this route into Deep Mouse the same way that any person does. But instead of following any percent strictly, we're gonna, once we get out of this room, we're gonna set a dream gate, and we're actually gonna head over to Gate. But before that, set our dream gate, and then we're actually gonna grab the dream tree in this room, which I alluded to earlier, just to make up that essence that we lost from dream gating around all run. I'm not sure exactly how many you want here, but I just always repeat it because I just enjoy grabbing these boards. I'll be honest, okay? I just like it. I think it's okay. You can get soul off of that about all you want. Shake cloak through and C dash, it'll never hit you. Make sure to full soul going into Galleon here. Galleon's a pretty tough fight. You, I think it's 6 hits of Shade Soul. It might be 5. I'm pretty sure it's 6. It's really hard to get doubles. I'm gonna try here, and I think I get 1. Let's see. I got 1 on the first fireball there. Let's see how many. Yeah, I must have gotten a double. pretty hard fight if you're not good at it. So make sure you got full health, full HP before you come in here. And ideally, you just practice the fight a bunch, and it'll be fine. We're gonna get back, and now we're gonna head over to B stuff. All we got left in the run now, we've got our 1800 essence, so we're gonna pick up our third and last streamer here. Then we're gonna get Awoken Dream now, so that we can go into White Palace. Complete White Palace, forget what happened to King Soul, 13 fragments. Then we're gonna turn King Soul into Voidheart, and then we're gonna go fight the bosses. That's all the run left. We are in the end game right now. So for me, I'm not sure exactly why like this point. By the way, we're skipping all of these down here. It's really funny. If you have wings, you can go through this secret entrance. And we even have Shake Cloak, so we don't even have to fight this Devout. We just Shake Cloak through it. It's really funny. I don't know why it's at this specific point. Once I get Hera, true ending, the nerves start. They flood in. Like I feel like I'm in mid game until now, and then I'm like, we are at the end of this run. When I have White Palace and then Radiant. Like, you can see I'm less than 15 minutes from end of the run. Game time. 15 minutes is not a short time, but still, I mean, this is all late game stuff in the vanilla game. Wow, right? Where it's not like any percent where you skip literally everything but the dream. So, a lot of pressure for me. I don't know. We're gonna grab the soul off this devout, shake Cloak through, just like we did to the one like alien. We're gonna try to keep this soul if we can. There is a fireball bag battle strategy that you can do coming up here, but I do recommend the C dash version that I do here. Um, I'm gonna mess it up horribly. I remember in this run, so don't look at. You do have to do those wiggles or look down, and then pretend you just went to this wall cleanly and C dashed immediately, and that would be how you do it. Uh, I like this not just because it saves the fireball, but it's just satisfying. I enjoy it. I have the resting grounds here, and we're not going to bench because we're not going to quit out after we get the Awoken Dream down, because I want to keep this soul. So we're actually going to use this soul as soon as we get into White Palace, right outside of it. So, oops. Grab Awoken Dream now. Like I said, not quit out. So easy to forget. But if you quit out here, you're going to end up at Hera again. You need to not quit out. And if that scares you, you can bench at Resting Ground Sag if you want to. It doesn't matter. We're not going to use the, Hera respawn ever. So if you need to, just bench there. That way you can't mess up like that. But we're heading to Hidden Station now that we have Awoken Dream now, and we're going to head to White Palace. It's very important that you don't die in White Palace without benching, because if you do, you just white screen. I don't really understand why, but that's just the case in the speedrun. I don't. But anyways, we got this King's Mold here. It takes 4 Shade Souls with Shaman Stone, and it's actually pretty cool. You can get it to back up the same way that you do with the Boss Knight in Green Path. So if you hit that double plus 2 more fireballs, that's enough to kill it. I did not do it just now, but it's possible. So coming up in this next room is King's Mold Skip, which I believe I do. Yeah, I learned this recently, and it's just so cool. There's another King's Mold to fight, but instead you can do this. Those clouds need to hurt you, so Team Cherry chose a hazard hitbox for it. They chose the spike hitbox, which is Pogopal. Isn't that silly? That's such a cool skip. I'm glad. I'm glad they chose that hitbox. So, making our way here up into Atrium. There's a left and a right atrium in that order. And yeah. White Palace is just a pretty cool area here. It's a platforming gauntlet. It's pretty fun. This game has pretty cool movement that a lot of people enjoy quite a bit. I mean, I enjoy it, and there are people who enjoy it like way more than me. So, um, really, really challenging casually and challenging to go quickly as well. So, a lot of cycle-based movement here. Really tight cycles like the one I just got through, like the one I'm about to go through. Oh, I do the old strat here. Uh, oh, that's so silly. I adjusted into the spike. That's crazy. There's a newer strat that's like way faster to like dash through all of that. Um, and I used to know it, but I'm old and I forgot how to do it. So if I get a better PB, I'll probably relearn it. That's left atrium done. Nice vaulting storage here. You can actually chain it like all the way across the room. I'm not sure why I benched. I'm just on PV pace and I'm doing weird stuff. You know how that goes. And if you don't, speedrun, then you'll know. Headed into right side atrium here. I like right side. It's kind of short and sweet. Uh, like honestly, a lot easier than left side to me. I don't know if that's just a practice thing or if it just is easier, but I also don't go for the fastest cycle in this room. You can save like 2 seconds to my strat, but I'm not concerned with that. Here's a very unintended skip by the devs. We've been doing some other dev intended skips in my palace so far. That is not intended. That skips a big room. So that's why this side is so short and sweet. So left side and right side atrium complete. Time to head up to balcony. If you hold jump on this elevator, you like jump at hyperspeed and then sometimes just clip through it. And these are done a bunch of times, so nobody does that anymore. But for a minute, it was like funny, and then someone clipped through it, and we were like, "Oh, this cycle is pretty funny. Like, it's just so easy to go too fast on that cycle, and then just hit that freaking buzzsaw. Be used to it." There's a really tight cycle on this room, but I don't go for it. I don't even know it. I don't care. So, I'm just doing my regular old strats here, just making my way through, just cruising around. Yeah, you can save a full cycle of those spikes on what I just did. Pretty impressive. But yeah, that's, I mean, the bulk of White Palace out of the way now. Just this last room, really, and then there's, no other, like, technical spots. That went pretty smoothly. Yeah, could be faster, but pretty smoothly. And that is, I believe, like, what, a two-hit White Palace? It's just that left atrium was pretty messy for me. Um, and if I were to pick a spot in the run where I said I made a platforming mistake, yeah, I'd say it would be left atrium. So I can't say that surprises me all that much. And to finish off White Palace here, we knock our dad off of his throne and take his jewelry. This is the King's Fragment. This will complete King's Soul. And this King's Soul charm is 5 notches, and we do have to equip it in order to get Void Heart. So if you'll recall, we have 4 charm notches. We can't equip that. Turns out, if you just try a bunch, 5 times in a row trying to equip the charm, the game just says, fine, fine, equip it. But you're going to take double damage. It's called overcharming. See, the charm UI kind of breaks. It gets mad at you. So you'll get the effects of these charms, but you take double damage. And coming up here is Birthplace, where there are again a bunch of our siblings. They do double damage. So if you do the math on that, that's 4 damage per hit. We have 5 HP. So we can only get it once in Birthplace here. And it's kind of sweaty, so One nice thing is as it opens here, we can set a dream gate. So if we do die, it's actually a really short death. Stream gate right back to it. Not a huge issue. But generally if you're here, you're on PB pace and you don't want to be dying. So I of course take a hit right away and then kind of have to sweat through the rest of birthplace. But I'm getting a lot more comfortable with this area, so I actually wasn't so worried that I would die, honestly. Which is, I mean, for me, that's like, wow, you know, that's crazy. Oh yeah, gold and white palace, by the way, pretty swag. We dream nailed the void egg, or I think it's called the void egg. The egg. I don't know. It's not the black egg because that's the black. No, black egg temple. Maybe that is the black egg. I don't know. It's been a while. I haven't played this game in English in 3 years. It's been in simplified Chinese the whole time. So, so I know. Anyways, we got some really cool lore in this cutscene. Honestly, it's kind of nice, like using simplified Chinese, like prevents spoilers for viewers in a way. Um, but just a really nice side effect. We play in simplified Chinese obviously because the text scrolls faster. Like that's almost not worth saying. If you're watching a speed run and it's not in the language that the streamer speaks, that's why, right? Um, so finished out that Void Heart cutscene. It's a decently fun climb, but it's also like kind of silly sometimes. I'm not a huge fan, but people who like movement definitely like it. It's tough to IL though, because if you do it over and over, it really starts to wear on your hands. A lot of inputs per second. But our King Soul turned into Void Heart, which costs no charm notches, so throw Shaman Stone back on, and let's head over to the final bosses coming into the home stretch here. I'm a minute ahead of my PB. That's something you'll see a lot in true ending is people getting like minute plus PBs at a high level because it's so hard to finish runs of this category. Like you just die so often. All these bosses are so hard. White Palace is hard. This climb can be hard. Like there's just so many opportunities to kill a run that very few make it to the end. So you're going to see pretty large chunks taken off of PBs when you can get them, but they're kind of few and far between. Making our way through Black Egg here. Um, if you haven't speedrun, you might not know this, but if you have, you definitely know this. If you die to THK or Radiance here, the bench in Black Egg Temple is actually a hard save as you get past it. So, really respawn. I'm gonna go with the THK fight. It's pretty similar to the 90% one, because again, you just have the fireball, same as before, but you do have kind of a bigger hitbox with it, so it's easier to get the doubles, and obviously, Trade Soul does double the damage, so it's a little quicker. One thing about this compared to 90% though, is that we are only going to go up to the final phase, at which point Hornet is going to pin the THK down and let us dream now its head, so we can get in there and fight the Radiance. At that point, we want to have full soul, because we want it to fight the Radiance. Our health will refresh at that point on entering the Radiance, but our soul will stay where it was. So, I'm doing a bunch of damage here. It was just self-stab, so basically anytime you get the strong attack hit, okay, I'm going to do damage during it. And I'm just going to wail on it with my nail because I know it's about to scream. It does. So I have full soul already, so I'm chilling. But if you don't have full soul here, you can do a dream nail cancel like a buffer right out of this one, to get 2 more hits of soul off of THK if you need to, with your regular. So set myself up well. We're still a minute ahead. Going into Radiance, got full soul, full health just gets refreshed, and basically I'm on don't die mode here if I want a PB. But what I really want is a 107. that's my goal for this run, for this session of runs. It was a 107. So my goal for the category was a 10X, but then I got this 109.10, and I was like, I can do better. If you look at my sum of bests, it's, my PB is a 109.10, my sum of best is like a low 105. Um, and generally, I like my PBs to lose 1 minute sum of bests for 30 minutes of gameplay. So this is an hour of gameplay. I would expect 2 minutes loss of sum of bests, and there's currently like almost a 4 minute gap. So um, I was pretty due for this PB. So I'm going for a 107, which means I'm playing pretty aggressive. I got hit in this first phase trying to go fast, and then I just started freaking out here. I'm not doing a lot of damage. I'm like slashing swords all the time. This was like, I was freaking out. And then now at this point, I'm like, just don't die. Like, just do not die. Please don't die. I hadn't had a run finish in like a while. So I was really, really thirsty for this to finish. Um, as soon as I'm out of the like ground phase of this fight, I feel a lot more comfortable because there's just less attacks here. Casual players might prefer that first phase, but I'm okay at platforming here, and ooh, taking that hit is rough. Having less attacks is always good. So yeah, this climb can be tricky. I tend to get hit here as I did to start it off, but luckily I don't get hit again, and we'll finish out the run. And this, I'm not gonna spoil the time. All I'm saying is my goal was a 107. So we'll see. If I play kind of aggressive, we'll see. I had to get a lot of my times at gold to get that 107. So we'll see. I got it, of course. 107.53. This run was really, really good at the time for me. Um, I've been running against it a lot recently, but haven't quite beaten it yet. But like I said, I've had paces. I mean, a minute ahead in mid. Uh, it's gonna happen. It's gotta happen. That is if I keep running it. I've been doing a lot of commentating for this week. I've worked on this video. I'm going to do another one after this. And obviously, like I said, GDQ, SGDQ 2024, Wednesday, July 3rd at 6:20 p.m. CDT. We are doing a true ending race. Stratus versus Visuals, commed by me and Guanqui. Definitely tune in if you can. If you're seeing this at a later date, check out that VOD. It's going to be awesome. Let me know what other categories you want to see from the series. I really appreciate any suggestions. I love this series. This is like I'm so happy doing these videos. This is like just exactly what I want to be putting out. So definitely, make sure to keep giving love. Like, subscribe if you like the video. That helps me out a lot. Helps the video out. Um, if you can click another one of my videos after this, that's like the biggest thing you can do to help me. The algorithm loves that. So, uh, all my stuff's linked in the description. If you want to hang out some more, I'll be streaming again once I get back from GDQ. I also will probably be on Visuals stream sometime this week, doing a two-player, one controller run of True Ending. So look forward to that. We did a little like test drive, and it was just a mess. It was such a mess. So that's definitely going to be content. Check him out, twitch.tv/visualstv. And yeah, I got the race. Hope to see you hanging out in chat at GDQ, get some good donos going, and about it. It's 2:30 a.m. I'm gonna go to bed because I got a com tomorrow. Um, and I also have to edit this video. It's so late. I'm so tired. I kept getting interrupted because I'm in a public space recording this. It's not my first take at all. Um, it's been a time. But you have a good one. Let me know if I missed anything. I live under a rock, so I could be getting anything wrong. And I will see you next week for the next video. Maybe another true ending, and then maybe we get into some LP stuff after that. Peace.